to the show today, guys. This is one of the most breaking news stories ever. This is a monumental, once in a lifetime type of moment that we're going to experience, and that is Donald Trump signing the order to declassify the files on JFK, RFK, and the MLK assassinations. This is literally a defining moment for Trump and for his presidency. This is huge, guys. But not only that, not only has he done that, passed that, but there's another bill that's been passed. But with this executive order to release the government files related to the assassination of JFK, RFK, and Martin Luther King, this is a campaign promise that he ran on. He said he would do it in his first term, and then he didn't, but now he is doing it, bringing transparency back to the United States. Obama didn't do it. Biden didn't do it. Clinton didn't do it. Bush, none. But we are finally getting the truth about what actually happened, and I know a lot of people are ready to see the files. On top of that, we also have it where they have finally passed and signed, it is now into law, the Laken-Riley Act, that if a non-U.S. citizen is arrested for any burglary or theft crime, they will be detained and most likely deported. Unfortunately, I mean, as I'm sitting here saying this, that if this law was in place, Laken-Riley would probably still be here. But again, thank God it is in place now, and a lot of things are changing. We also have it where, guys, representatives are loving Trump so much. We literally had today, Representative Andy Ogles has now proposed a constitutional amendment to allow President Trump to seek a third term. I don't know if he wants to, but she wants him to run, and there's a lot of talk of a lot of congressmen and women that want him to run. On top of that, Pete Hegseth has essentially advanced now to be the defense secretary. He's secured enough votes to pass, and this is going to be the biggest change to the Pentagon in decades. Not only has he promised to audit the financials, cut the spending, get woke out of the military, but to help build an Iron Dome with Trump around the United States, just like Jerusalem has an Iron Dome around them. On top of that, we knew there was going to be a fight, everybody. A federal judge has already blocked Trump's birthright citizenship order temporarily. Remember, this is temporary. But remember, what Trump is talking about is that this applies to those illegals that are illegal immigrants that come to the United States, are not citizens, don't have anything to do with anything with America, but they have their baby here, and right now they're automatically considered citizens, and Trump is saying that's not how it was meant to be, and he wants to end that. So we got a ton of breaking news, guys, over these JFK files, everything that's happening with MLK and all that. I want to say thank you to everybody that's watching. If you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button for me. Let me take care of you every day with the top news. And if you don't mind, click the thumbs up like button, guys. It really does help so much with the channel. And thank you to all of our members of the channel. Y'all are the best. Thank you for your support. Thank you for all of just loving the chat. I see it. I mean, guys, it makes me so happy we built this community. If you want to be a member, the link is in the description to join. And thank you to everybody that gives a super chat donation. Want to give a shout out to Rebecca Braun Patriot. Y'all show Rebecca some love in the chat. But guys, this is a monumental moment we're about to experience together. This is insanely huge, and I'm super happy that I'm getting to experience it with you. Check this out.
Lastly, sir, we have an executive order ordering the declassification of files relating to the assassinations of President John F. Kennedy, Senator Robert F. Kennedy, and Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
That's a big one, huh? A lot of people are waiting for this for years, for decades. And everything will be revealed.
Dang.
Okay? Give that to RFK Jr.
Yes, sir.
Right there, guys. I'm telling you, this is so huge. This is, I mean, breaking news like never before. And again, too, guys, we know that there's already Democrats that are trying to fight this. But again, too, the truth is coming out, whether they like it or not. Check this out because, again, too, we are revealing the truth across the board.
See what they do? Every single time, ladies and gentlemen. It's called the wrap-up smear. Where have we heard that before? Nancy Pelosi, who's usually tactically pretty smart, was once dumb enough to air how exactly this works, the wrap-up smear, by telling you how they do what they do. If you've not seen this clip, this is one of those save and preserves, and show it to your lefty friends later, because she's describing how it doesn't matter if it's true or not. All that matters is the smear is out there, they wrap it up, and they run away. Don't listen to me, listen to her. Check this out.
It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. You demonize, and then we call it the wrap-up smear. If you want to talk politics, you call it the wrap-up smear. You smear somebody with falsehoods and all the rest, and then you merchandise it. And then you write it, and they'll say, see, it's reported in the press that this, and this. So they have that validation that the press reported the smear, and then it's called the wrap-up smear. Now I'm going to merchandise the press's report on the smear that we made.
I mean,
that's so wrong, guys.
She's laying out the left-wing Saul Alinsky type game plan for you. I mean, what part of this could you possibly be confused about? She's telling you how they do it. This is how they make this stuff up. And if it wasn't for a biased, ridiculously biased left-wing media that would give this stuff oxygen, this fire would die out. I know these guys have their heads on straight because they've got some really good staffers. And folks, these things happen. The PIC, the Presidential Inaugural Committee, had 1,000 things going on. I'm just saying in the future, just learn from this and make sure we're going through these speakers. And it would have taken a 5-second social media search. I mean, we could do it now, and you'd see this lady's got a ton of videos out there talking negatively about Donald Trump. Folks, they want to tell you, the media people and the left-wingers, a story, not the story. That is what they do. They're doing it again with Elon. I said to you yesterday, I don't know Elon. I met him for 5 seconds at the UFC. He was very nice. But Elon is one of these genius guys who just, I don't know, I don't have Elon's level of intellect. So the brain, I don't know, the expression of affect and emotion is just different. You see it with these ridiculously smart people all the time. They're trying to do it again. The media is playing the same playbook they did in 2016, despite getting the 3 elections in a row. Yeah, 3. Here's Elise Stefanik, thankfully, doing the right thing up there. She's being questioned by a complete tool bag, Democrat Communist Senator Chris Murphy from Connecticut. And of course, what does he got to do? He puts the wrap-up smear out there. Elon did this like a Nazi salute. Anyone who watched that saw what Elon Musk was doing, was pointing to his heart, telling people, you know, basically, I love you, I'm acknowledging what you're doing. But of course, because Chris Murphy's a commie and wants to do the Pelosi wrap-up smear, he needs to get it out there that Elon Musk is a Nazi because he supports the MAGA agenda. Elise Stefanik's having none of it. This is how you respond to this. You don't even accept the premise of the question and you crush it right away. Watch this.
What do you think of Elon Musk, perhaps the president's most visible advisor, doing 2 Heil Hitler salutes last night at the president's televised rally?
No, Elon Musk did not do those salutes. I was not at the rally, but I can tell you I've been at many rallies with Elon Musk, who loves to cheer when President Trump says we need to send, our U.S. space program to Mars. Elon Musk is a visionary. I'm looking forward to his work in DOGE, the Department of Government Efficiency, and look forward to looking how we can be more efficient and effective. But that is simply not the case. And to say so is the American people are smart. They see through it. They support Elon Musk. We are proud to be the country of such successful entrepreneurs. That is one of our greatest strengths as Americans.
Folks, that's how you handle it. You do not even remotely accept the premise of the question. What do I mean like that? This is a teaching moment for all of us, because at times, I've been guilty of this too. You don't start explaining away why the angle of his arm was this way instead of this way, why he meant to wave or do this, but the hand was upside down. You don't get into that. This is the standard traditional, and we need to tell you a story. So what do? They want you getting bogged down in the details. So the overall narrative that Elon's a Nazi and you're just explaining out the details away, you can watch it here. Guy and the team are putting it on the screen. Look, I mean, obviously, if you've ever seen Elon, you know what Elon was doing, okay? You don't even accept the premise of the question. Don't even bother. The guy pointed to his heart like 10 times. You don't accept the premise of the question. You don't start arguing that, well, he should have done it, palms up. So, and one thing you never do, listen, this is super important for the political advisors out there, the team surrounding Elon. I know Elon's team knows better anyway. Again, they don't need my advice, but I'm going to throw it out there anyway because the show's called The Dan Bongino Show, okay? You do not ever apologize, ever. You do not apologize. There are people out there going, well, Elon, just clear it up and apologize. He has nothing to apologize. Once you apologize for, you're accepting the premise that you did something wrong. Listen to me. Do not, under any circumstances, apologize. There has been no greater warrior on Twitter against anti-Semitism other than this show. None. We talk about what's going on in the Middle East, the state of Israel, all the time. Do not ever apologize if what was in your heart was pure. Don't do it. And that's how you explain it. Apologize.
100%.
What the hell would I apologize for? Well, you know, it looked like a Nazi salute. Yeah, it looked like that to you because you're a crazy person. And this
100%, guys. They're trying to smear Trump's people, guys, but it's not like it was back in 2017. It's not like it was back in 2018. People, they 100% see through it, and everybody knows how Elon is, and he was saying from his heart to the people. I wanted to give you an update, guys, on this because, again, too, the fighting is happening now. Judge blocks Trump's, this is what CNN puts. Judge blocks Trump's blatantly unconstitutional executive order that aims to end birthright citizenship. What's so misleading about this is that he's talking about illegals that are here that have kids versus if you're here as a U.S. citizen or if you're here legally and you have a kid, guess what? They're a citizen. But this is where, again, the smear campaigns are here. But I want to bring you the facts, guys. I want to show you what's going on because you're going to see this all over the news. Where is the ICE at, the Immigration and Customs Enforcement? Well, guess what? As of January 23rd, they have made 538 arrests, 373 detainers lodged. Why? What are they doing? They're doing what Trump said he would do. Clean out the criminals. Make sure that the worst of the worst are out of here. And make sure that we're putting America first. So this is wonderful. I love it. You're getting to see this firsthand of what's happening. But again, too, we can't be naive. We know that they're going to try to come after Trump, and there's even more that is coming down. But guess what? The deep state, just like they didn't want the RFK, JFK files and MLK files released, they're starting to fight him even more. Check this out.
In a day of more bomb dropping by President Trump and rolling through on the new golden age of America, and everything that he's doing in driving the action, there's counteraction too. They're in court, they're in the media, they're in jails, making things tougher. Whether it's releasing people with on the J6 pardons, or trying to do ICE raids in Chicago, and momentarily we're going after our own Ben Bergquam. There's resistance in federal court. They're dropping lawsuits against every executive order. They're dropping lawsuits against birthright citizenship. So every line that we've talked about going down, what we call the lines of work or the verticals, there are massive momentum. Executive orders drop, executive action taken. Now legislation. Lake and Riley passed today. I think it's going to go to the president's desk. I don't know, tomorrow sometime. We'll cover that. And Lake and Riley bill has got a great opening for us in the H-1B visas, a secret weapon. President Trump's hitting on all fronts, dropping bombs all day long. It's just absolutely extraordinary, incredible, and there's huge resistance to all of it. But today, dropped another one, the release of, now here's what it is. It's not the headline's a little different than the reality. And this is why we have the crack team of practitioners in intelligence. I see the intelligence community. We have some of the best of the best. I went through the executive order. It's not the immediate release today of the files of Jack Kennedy, Bobby Kennedy, Martin Luther King. It is, they have to return in 15 days with a plan, DNI. I'm not so sure Tulsi's confirmed by the Senate in 15 days. So it has to be the acting crew over there. And we have to get, there's all types of wording. It's like the wording in the executive order that led to the getting rid of the security classifications of the security clearances, of the 51 on that fought us on the laptop from hell. There may be a little bit better wording than that to make sure they can't come back and sue you. They're going to try to tie everything up in the courts, everything. This work, this days of thunder, the shock and awe of being the blunt force instrument and going after the administrative state and the deep state is, quite frankly, stunning. Like I said earlier this morning, the strategic part of it's so brilliant because they're interconnected and interlocked. Economics. So we're going to have Philip Patrick join us later about the economics that's coming out of Davos. EJ and Tony's going to be tomorrow because he's found all types of stuff in the numbers. Also the bond market. We'll show you some bond market numbers tomorrow. Remember, we don't get a free ride here. They get a vote. But today, President Trump's sending a clear signal. In 15 days, I want a plan from DNI. And that plan, and trust me, folks, we'll be all over this. And this is not going to be a 2-year plan. This is going to be, so his skirt's clean, right? That they can then go and do it immediately. We'll be on top of that. But it's not calling for the exact release today. It's calling for DNI to come back in 15 days. And we're going to make sure that plan doesn't say, well, we're going to bleed him out over the next 4 years. No, President Trump wants these things out.
Yes.
What's his great quote? Everything will be revealed. How's that? It's like it's a fascinating film, fascinating movie. We're going to go to Davos. President Trump just really unleashed on Davos Day. It was magnificent. Captain Jim Fennell will come to us from overseas, and also Nora bin Laden is in Switzerland. She'll come to us. She's actually in Davos. I don't think she's going back to Geneva, but we'll find out momentarily. But I have to go to the Windy City, cold Chicago. Ice raids are supposed to start Tuesday. They didn't happen. Why didn't they happen? As we reported live for you on this show on Saturday morning, one of my young charges pulled it down and said huge headlines, Trump prepared to, Homan, Miller, and Trump prepared to do a 200-person ICE agent raid in Chicago on Tuesday, kicking down doors and rounded up bad guys. And I said, did that say source close to the White House leak? They said, no, 4 individuals familiar with the plan. I said, that's the administrative state. That's guys over at DHS and others that know about the raid, local police that, these liberals in Chicago that know about it. They're going to leak it because they don't want it to happen. What happened? 24 hours later, in the same Washington Post, Homan says, hey, we're working on it. Don't know if it's going to be Tuesday. It was not Tuesday. The administrative state is fighting Trump at every step of the way. Trump's got the military
100%.
Sending troops to the border. Trump's got the military airlift command that's got lift capacity on standby. They're pre-positioning now to send guys out of here, to deport people immediately. The war has been engaged on every level, intellectually, with action, with money, with federal power, and the resistance is tight. I told you there's going to be resistance. That shouldn't be a surprise. In fact, it's healthy. They're showing their true colors. You're going through a great unmasking right now of who's actually a patriot, want to save the country. The invasion, they're going to fight us stopping the invasion and reversing the invasion, tooth and nail.
Guys, and we're seeing it. It's so crazy that the Democrats are fighting to keep criminals here in the United States. It literally doesn't make sense. I do have some wonderful, wonderful news, guys, because again, too, Trump went on a whirlwind of signing executive orders again today to meet his campaign promises. One of the things that he did was he signed pardons, more pardons for pro-lifers. Listen to this.
Next, we have a set of pardons for peaceful pro-life protesters who were prosecuted by the Biden administration for exercising their First Amendment rights.
Do you know how many?
I believe it's 23, sir.
23 people were prosecuted. They should not have been prosecuted. Many of them are elderly people.
Yeah.
They should not have been prosecuted. This is a great honor to sign this. They'll be very happy. So they're all in prison now.
Some are out of custody.
Guys, can y'all believe that? Peacefully protesting because the words that they said outside of certain places, they were sentenced to prison, guys. That doesn't even sound American. But I'm glad Trump is doing what he said he was going to do. He's pardoned them, and there's more to it, guys. I just love that it's been nonstop of him doing and fulfilling his campaign promises. Check this out.
Ripping through a new round of executive orders on AI and crypto, and this was intriguing, releasing the long-awaited JFK files. Trump also sitting down for his first television interview with Sean Hannity.
They're all solvable problems, Tom.
I agree.
They're all solvable.
Not easy.
With time, effort, money, unfortunately. But they're all solvable problems. We can get our country back. But if we didn't win this race, I really believe our country would have been lost forever. I think we got there just in the nick of time, but they can't govern, and their policies are terrible. I mean, they don't want to see a woman get pummeled by a man in a boxing ring.
No.
They don't want to see men in women's sports and otherwise. They don't want to see them, and they don't want to have transgender for everyone. They don't want a child leave home as a boy and come back 2 days later as a girl. A parent doesn't want to see that. The Democrats don't use common sense.
And as he gears up to visit wildfire-ravaged California tomorrow, President Trump is putting the pressure on Governor Gavin Newsom on some things he'd like to see done to tame the flames.
Will you meet with Gavin?
I don't know. I haven't even thought about it. Look, Gavin's got one thing he can do. He can release the water that comes from the north. There is massive amounts of water, rainwater and mountain water that comes due with the snow, comes down as it melts. There's so much water, they're releasing it into the Pacific Ocean. And I told him, it's a political thing for the Democrats.
One of the things that bothered me about the Biden team, Greg, is it felt like there was nobody there who really wanted to solve problems.
This is how I was writing this down. It seems like a lot of the things that Trump is doing feels like low-hanging fruit. But in order to solve these problems, which seem simple, you have to think of them as problems. They never saw men competing against women in women's sports as a problem. They didn't see a porous border as a problem. And they didn't see crime as a problem, or the homelessness and drug addiction on the street as problems. So they had no incentive to solve them. So all of these problems suddenly to Americans are like, wow, this is pretty obvious. Yeah, you seal up the border, you put fat guys in prison, and you get guys out of girls' locker rooms. So the challenge isn't solving the problem. It's getting rid of the incentives that had people not solve it. Why did they not solve it? Take something like racial politics. Like, we were at a period in time in America where we were optimistic about race relations. This was probably about 15 years ago, until we weren't. Because racial division was incentivized financially. People were making money off it. So what you have to do is you have to look at what is incentivizing people to be a problem, eliminate that. You can't solve problems with identity politics, because to solve problems, you got to work together. And identity politics says, no, we have to stay apart. I'm different, you're different. Myself is more important than the group. But as an individual, you can help other individuals. So you can either lose with identity politics, or you could join with your brothers and sisters and win.
And remember, too, Judge, when we were asking, like, we would ask in a poll, what keeps you up at night? And all of those are Harold.
Baby.
Yeah. Yes, all the things that keep up at night, but the worries that people kept them up at night. And how would you solve them? And I feel like he's speaking directly to those issues.
You know, it's like when he talked about, the country might not have come back if he didn't win. I mean, I happen to agree with that. And I think most Americans agree with that. But it's like a renovation. You need a blueprint. And the president has a blueprint. And his blueprint is America first.
Yes.
And he has an optimistic outlook. He's conversant, and he is absolutely glib. I mean, he can talk about the economy and inflation and the border wall, and he can talk about, national security and crime, as well as the environment. I mean, this is a guy who's got in his brain so much that he can pull to make sure that he creates the country that our founding fathers intended. And, you know, to me now, the radical left is put on notice. Don't do any of this nonsense anymore, because this is a president, and you're going to see a lot of people running for office going forward who are going to adopt his mentality of common sense and not nonsense. We're not going to put men in women's sports, and we're not going to open the border and not give you a reason for opening the border. It was crazy. And
Biden created. Did you know that Mexico is building tents for Mexicans? Mexico's like, what do we do with all these Mexicans? It's going to be a homecoming, Dana. Maybe we could have a king and a queen. Bad hombres are getting iced across the nation. You guys just touched on it about basic economics. You lower the price of energy, it lowers consumer prices, it lowers inflation, the Fed drops rates, mortgage rates follow, and then young couples can buy homes and have lots of babies and live the American dream.
Let's go.
Did you know the price of oil was $110 under Joe Biden? Now it's at $77. We're back to work. We're not collecting checks in our pajamas anymore. DEI is gone. And I know Harold knows this better than anybody. The S&P just hit fresh highs. This AI investment, it's not our money. It's their money. We're not printing it to then pick winners and losers and hand it out to Intel. We're just having them do all the heavy lifting for us.
Yes.
And he's doing it with a stroke of a pen. Remember, Biden said, I need Congress. I can't do anything without Congress. No, he needed a little common sense, and he needed some caffeine. And it's fun to watch the Democrats and the media completely broken and just getting rolled over. Thank God. Look at what this government is capable of. I'm invigorated.
We all.
I am invigorated, Greg.
You got to look at the ratings. Like, nobody is watching those other channels because they're like, you guys lied to us for 4 years, so we're not watching you anymore. They're going away.
RuPaul's Drag Race is beating CNN.
Guys, let me tell you this. People, they want common sense. Everybody has said it. Guys, when I do polls on here and I ask things, you know, I did this poll over, do you support Trump declassifying the JFK and MLK and RFK files for everyone to know what happened? 97% of people are saying yes out of 539 votes. This is huge. Also, what you're seeing on the screen is huge, guys. Pete Hegseth. But I want to say thank you so much, Andy, for the super chat. Let's go. He said Trump needs to make a permanent law that no illegals can be hired by these companies if they want to do business in the USA. That's huge. That would clean house so fast. And thank you so much, Lay Lewis, for the super chat. He said, I sincerely hope that they'll start their emergency help with the North Carolina. The Dems should have to answer for that gross negligence ASAP. I know President Trump, he said he would be going there soon. Lay, I would let you know that there's already videos popping up where Trump has already set so much money down there. People are being moved into more permanent housing. It is phenomenal. I love it. Thank you so much, Karen K, for the super chat. Said, thank you for all you do. God bless. God bless you too, Karen. And Alice Lewis, welcome to the fam. Ty Matt Chong, thank you so much for the super chat. Said, hey, Joel, when they release documents, please make a show and show us. Thank you for the true news. 100%. I got you. Y'all show Ty, Alice, Karen, Lay Lewis, and Andy some love in the chat. So, guys, again, Pete Hegseth's confirmation, we're good. He's going to go. He's going to completely revamp the entire defense. He's going to revamp the entire military. He's going to revamp the entire Pentagon. Remember, and one of the biggest things is cleaning up their spending. They literally have failed audits 7 years in a row. Cannot account for where the money is going. They need to be held accountable. And guess what else is happening that is making, I'm telling you, Trump's dream team is on it, guys. I love it. Check this out.
Bought off outside of the White House. Alina, thanks so much for coming on tonight. It's good to see you, and congratulations on the new gig. I want to start just off the monologue here, but as you've seen the last 2 days, not much has really changed. We have left-wing bishops scolding Trump publicly. We have the media vilifying everything he's doing, despite the actions being largely supported by the public.
That's right. Are you surprised? Honestly, the
Yeah.
Bishop issue really bugs me. There's just no place for that. I don't know whether she has political aspirations, but my opinion is to keep church, and that's just what you're supposed to do. That was shameful. You know, her going on The View today and trying to rectify what she did was also shameful. Yeah, I mean, we've seen a president that's actually a president. He's operating as a president, Rob. You and I know him personally, and he's been tremendous. I've never seen so much action in such little time, and I think America really deserves it. I think we've been missing it, and having this transparency and all the EOs and the executive orders that he's been putting out just shows that we're really going to have some serious change very quickly under this administration, so I'm excited to be a part of it.
That's great. The transparency that we've seen just in the last 48 hours, the intensity, the vigor that we've seen has been amazing to watch. How hungry he is to get things done after having a corpse in the White House for the last 4 years. Politico writing, Trump 2.0 is accessible, saying he did phone interviews with TV journos over the weekend. He did freewheeling press conferences on both Monday and Tuesday, taking questions from all comers, and now follow-ups with a full sit-down on his third day in office. Biden and Kamala Harris might like to take note. This is what people expect from the presidency. It's the biggest job in the world. You're supposed to be busy and working hard.
Yeah, nobody works harder than President Trump. If you look at what he did just on the day of his inauguration, he didn't sign one executive order. He signed almost 40, and he took major action. He went to 3 balls. He did. I mean, it's endless. Yeah. They actually took us from inauguration right to the West Wing to start working immediately and get sworn in. It's been tremendous. Yep. These are not lazy people. I work with some of the most heavy fighters in America. Many of us were with the president. The president has made very clear that we are to work hard, and we're just trying to keep up with him. But it's exciting, and I think, like you said, this is what he's supposed to do. We just forgot it for the last 4 years.
Yes. That's exactly right. I want to talk a little about foreign policy here. The president's sending a very clear message to Vladimir Putin. He wants to get this war over with. Says if we don't make a deal, and soon he has no choice but to put high levels of taxes, tariffs, and sanctions on anything being sold by Russia to the United States. He says we need to make a deal. No more lives should be lost. It's funny to think how so many have called him Putin's puppet over the years. If he's Putin's puppet, why is he threatening the president of Russia? And how fast are we going to have something done here? It seems like he could move quick.
Yeah, he's made it very clear. If you don't cooperate, if you're not willing to work with us, there will be tariffs, there will be sanctions. That's not just about Russia. It's China. It's anyone that does not have America first policies in place. We are not going to bend over for other countries anymore. We are going to start putting America first policies in place. And that means that economically hitting them when they're not cooperating is frankly what needs to be done. And that's what the president's going to do. He's not afraid of anybody. And more importantly, they are afraid of him, and they should be, because he cares about our country. And he's not afraid to say that, and to say that he will put us above their interests.
Yeah, pretty strong words, against the leader of Russia. Let's get this over with, or else you're going to really pay. Alina Habba, thank you so much.
Guys, isn't that amazing? Like the amount of force that is coming from America, from the presidency, from Trump is just mind-blowing, guys. And again, too, guys, it's so powerful that you literally have, this is blowing up on X right now, where Representative Andy Ogles of Tennessee, baby, let's go. Look, guys, we may have a horrible football team with the Tennessee Titans, but man, we got some dang good representatives. Now, this is from the leading report, is proposing a constitutional amendment to allow Trump to seek a third term. Let me know your thoughts on that. Andy, thank you so much again for the super chat. Let's go. He said, who is paying for this illegal woman to give birth in the United States? We need to stop this too. Subtract this hospital bills from the money USA gives to their country. That's actually a good point, because, having kids is expensive. I've had 3, had to pay for it all, and man, them bills ain't cheap. Wow, that's a good point, Andy. Mr. Tracy J. Norby with the super chat. Let's go. He said maybe they should try locking up people for committing crimes now. It's just been a cluster, when nobody gets punished for crimes they do commit. It's basically all corrupt as these Democrats play games. 100%. Y'all show Mr. Norby and Andy some love in the chat. Guys, let me tell you this. If it takes common sense to actually get America back on track, I feel like how far have we been removed from reality? Like, it literally, when you think about it, seal the border. How just common sense is that for a country? How common sense is it to say, you know what? We probably should put people in jail if they commit a crime, and especially if they're an illegal immigrant who's not even supposed to be here in the first place. This is crazy, y'all. I'm just blowing out my mind. Thank you so much, Robert Johnson, for gifting 5 TrueLife News memberships. Let's go. Growing the TrueLife News fam. Y'all show Robert some love in the chat, everybody. But what I love, guys, is the breaking news is just happening. Check this out.
Fox News alert. President Trump just signed an executive order declassifying and releasing all files related to the JFK, RFK, and MLK assassinations. Watch.
Lastly, sir, we have an executive order ordering the declassification of files relating to the assassinations of President John F. Kennedy, Senator Robert F. Kennedy, and the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
That's a big one, huh? A lot of people are waiting for this for years, for decades. And everything will be revealed.
Everything, guys, everything.
Okay? Give that to RFK Jr.
Yes, sir.
Okay?
Guys, did y'all see he said give the pen to RFK Jr. because of what he's just signed? Very, very emotional connection to what Trump is now going to be revealing about his family. That's pretty cool.
Only fair that Bobby gets the Sharpie. This order instructs the Director of National Intelligence and the Attorney General to come up with a plan within 15 days for the full and complete release of the JFK files, and 45 days for the release of the RFK and MLK archives. These are tens of thousands of documents that have never been seen before, that have been buried for over 60 years. Primetime will have full coverage on the day they drop. 47 signed a flurry of executive orders this afternoon, and some of them could make you rich.
This is the crypto EO. We're going to be forming an internal working group to make to make America the world capital in crypto under your leadership.
Which is really going up, right?
Absolutely.
All right, David, that's for you.
Thanks, sir.
You find them exciting? They might not be exciting, but you're going to make a lot of money for the country.
I don't own any crypto. Should that change?
Are you serious?
Trump says rates are coming down, whether Jerome knows it or not.
The interest rates will come down.
You said that you would demand that the interest rates come down.
Well, I would.
Do you expect
I would put in a strong statement.
Do you expect the Fed to listen to you?
Yeah.
Trump's demystifying the idea that all these Washington institutions are perfectly independent. Biden would never tell his attorney general what to do. Obama would never talk to the Fed chair about rates. I can't be seen talking to a justice. That would be unethical. The Washingtonian virtue signaling is history. Presidents don't have to be shy about power, and having an opinion isn't illegal anymore. Trump's not whispering and tiptoeing around D.C. Same thing with Davos. Once a year, the financial elite gather in a tax haven, hire escorts, and stroke each other's egos, then dictate how the rest of us are going to live. Brain implants, bugs for dinner, and willy-nilly windmills. Kerry's usually falling off his bicycle, and Al Gore's screaming about rain bombs or misinformation. This year, though, was a little different. The newly minted president zoomed in as a symbol of disrespect and told Davos they aren't dictating anymore.
Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States, Donald J. Trump.
Well, thank you very much, Klaus, and hello to everyone in beautiful Davos. This has been a truly historic week in the United States. 3 days ago, I took the oath of office, and we began the golden age of America. What the world has witnessed in the past 72 hours is nothing less than a revolution of common sense. Our country will soon be stronger, wealthier, and more united than ever before, and the entire planet will be more peaceful and prosperous as a result of this incredible momentum and what we're doing and going to do.
Davos didn't usher in a golden age, did it? Davos dictated DEI, mass migration, and attacks on cow flatulence. It isn't about what they want anymore. It's about what we want.
Let's go.
And Trump's ripping up their wish list.
I terminated the ridiculous and incredibly wasteful Green New Deal. I call it the Green New Scam. Withdrew from the one-sided Paris Climate Accord and ended the insane and costly electric vehicle mandate. We're going to let people buy the car they want to buy. I mean, the Green New Deal was such a total disgrace. And it was conceived of by people that were average students, less than average students, I might add, and never even took a course in energy or the environment. It was just a game. Remember, the world was going to end in 12 years? Remember that? Well, the 12 years has come and gone.
The New World Order won't be set at a summit in Switzerland by bankers, politicians, and economists who look like woolly mammoths. At one point, Trump name-checked the Bank of America CEO. Watch.
I know.
Speaking of you, and you've done a fantastic job, but I hope you start opening your bank to conservatives, because many conservatives complain that the banks are not allowing them to do business within the bank, and that included a place called Bank of America. They don't take conservative business. And I don't know if the regulators mandated that because of Biden or what, but you and Jamie and everybody, I hope you're going to open your banks to conservatives, because what you're doing is wrong.
President Trump calling a bank chairman immoral ruffled quite a few feathers in the Davos dining room, but they couldn't do anything about it, and neither can Canada.
We're going to be demanding respect from other nations. Canada, we have a tremendous deficit with Canada. We're not going to have that anymore. We can't do it. I don't know if it's good for them. As you probably know, I say you can always become a state. Then if you're a state, we won't have a deficit. We won't have to tariff you, et cetera, et cetera. But Canada has been very tough to deal with over the years, and it's not fair that we should have a $200 billion or $250 billion deficit. We don't need them to make our cars, and they make a lot of them. We don't need their lumber because we have our own forests, et cetera, et cetera. We don't need their oil and gas. We have more than anybody.
America is beginning to reassert its economic advantage. We have the biggest consumer market, more liquid capital than any country, and the largest energy reserves. Not to mention a bigger Navy than every nation on earth. And the dollar's the world currency. So this country has an absolute right, an obligation to our own people to set trade terms and not be taken advantage of.
Yes.
NATO's spending, a perfect example.
I'm also going to ask all NATO nations to increase defense spending to 5% of GDP, which is what it should have been years ago. It was only at 2%, and most nations didn't pay until I came along. I insisted that they pay, and they did, because the United States was really paying the difference at that time, and it was unfair to the United States.
Why aren't the Europeans paying more for their own protection? Why are we paying the bulk of NATO's budget? That's like a security guard paying a client to protect them. NATO's an incredible alliance. We just have to get our books in order, so our allies don't get a free ride, because while they get a free ride on defense, they're ripping us off on trade. They tariff American goods, but we barely tariff European goods. And that's about to change. And the Saudis better start pumping.
Saudi Arabia will be investing at least $600 billion in America, but I'll be asking the Crown Prince, who's a fantastic guy, to round it out to around $1 trillion. I think they'll do that because we've been very good to them. And I'm also going to ask Saudi Arabia and OPEC to bring down the cost of oil.
And if the Saudis don't round up $400 billion, Trump will visit Israel first.
You said you can ask for $1 trillion. Will Saudi Arabia be the first foreign country you will visit, since they invest in that much?
Well, if they do that, I would, yeah. I would be glad to do that. I did it, as you know, 4 years ago. We did $450 billion, meaning the money all goes to American companies, and they purchase jets and they purchase computers and everything else. And we did $450 billion, and I guess we're at 600, 650.
Trump shopping around his first foreign trip to the highest bidder. And it's not like he's getting the money, you're getting the money. These are investments in America.
Yeah.
Trump's treating our country like an NFL free agent. You know, I really want to sign with Buffalo, but LA's offering a much better package. Globalism's over, and we're taking Davos down with it. We're not going to let multinationals outsource production and sell product back into the U.S. duty-free. We need to protect our workers and supply chains. Fiat Chrysler met with Trump, and now they're restarting a Jeep plant in Illinois and building Dodge Durangos in Detroit. Samsung is about to move production from Mexico into the United States. Canada wants to help Trump restart the Keystone Pipeline. And the president just lifted a pause on liquefied natural gas exports so we can sell the Europeans natural gas and wean them off Russian energy, which makes our country wealthier, our allies safer, and slows down the Russian war machine, forcing Putin to the negotiating table. And by the way, check your 401k. The S&P 500 just hit a fresh record high. And guess where Marco Rubio's first trip is as Secretary of State? Panama. What a powerful message to send. Things are moving again, and the administration's in the zone.
Let's go.
At any point, did you doubt you would be back here?
So it's a great question. It's something I don't think about. I never really thought about it. I don't think about, gee, will I be back? I just do it. I get it done. I get things done. I'm good at getting things done.
Constitutional scholar Jonathan Turley says Trump's not making surgical strikes, but saturation bombing Washington. Obama promised to fundamentally transform America, but Trump is actually doing it. There was this myth that there was gridlock in Washington. The country was divided and that change was slow. That just gave professional politicians an excuse for 3-day work weeks. They didn't want you to know real change was possible because then we'd raise expectations and they'd have to actually do their jobs and actually represent our interests instead of their own. But now they have an excuse for their lack of action. The New York Times says it's the return of the king. Trump embraces trappings of the throne. The media wants you to think only a tyrant could get things done in D.C. They want you to think what Trump's doing is not in the American tradition. He's a wannabe dictator. No, he's not. Just because he's playing with a sword doesn't make him Napoleon. This is what it looks like when you beat 4 cases, survive 2 assassination attempts, and sweep every battleground. A president with political capital who knows how to use it with gusto and precision. Lawyer Mike Davis told the New York Times, quote, "This election was a referendum on Trump, on MAGA, and on lawfare, and the American people rendered their verdict on November 5th. He earned power, and now he's going to use it like Democrats."
Wow.
Democrat presidents use their power to put foreign nationals on welfare, bribe voters with college loan bailouts, and print money to dish out to donors. Democrats did all of that after their elections. They never campaigned on any of that. They tried to hide it. The difference is Trump's doing exactly what he promised to do, and the voters ratified the mission. We're living in a time of populist rebellion.
Yes.
Journalist Carl Zinsmeister says this: voters let loose a genuine bull into the china shop of the ruling class, those who have dominated public life for a generation, declaring that the sky is falling. Maybe their sky's falling. Maybe their time at the top's over, but yours isn't. Your time at the top is just getting started.
Guys, this is beautiful, guys. I'm telling you what, and I've got something crazy I'm about to show you guys. If you are ready to see something crazy I'm about to show you, because this is literally about to rock, if this is true, the entire Democratic Party and literally destroy the entire Democratic Party. Want to say thank you so much, Mr. Tracy J. Norby. Let's go with the super chat. You the man. He said, "Hey, Joel, True Life News. I'd like to give 10 membership if I can. If I need more, tell me." Brother, you are amazing. Appreciate your support. Growing the True Life News fam. Y'all show Mr. Norby some love in the chat. Guys, I'm telling you, this is nuts what you're about to see right here. Because if this is true, the Democratic Party pretty much is gone. Check this out.
Some momentum picking up in the rumor mill about their marriage. First, on January 15th, in the Substack of Jessica Reed Krause, also known as House and Habit, she posts the following. Michelle Obama's absence at Jimmy Carter's funeral certainly raised some eyebrows, but yesterday's announcement that she won't be attending Trump's inauguration confirms something is definitely going on between her and Barack. Whispers about cracks in their relationship have been circulating in D.C. for over a year now, but this feels like the first public proof of a marriage on the rocks. If I had to guess, they will wait until after the inauguration to announce it. Timing, you know, is everything. And yet the story doesn't end there. For months, I've heard Jennifer Aniston's name tied to Barack. Then Jessica cites a DM she received the day before. Quote, "He's with Jennifer Aniston. My old manager, now a friend, is connected to her inner circle. At a gathering with Jennifer's friends, the affair came up casually. Jennifer herself admitted it. They were sitting with a psychic, which makes it sound surreal, but it's definitely not a secret among her closest friends." Then yesterday, Meghan McCain had a discussion about this on her show, suggesting she is hearing the same. She had on Tara Palmieri, who's a reporter, saying, "Fast and furious loud, I've been hearing this rumor about the Obamas getting a divorce from reputable people." I'm not talking about TMZ, she says.
Nuts.
I'm talking about very serious journalists telling me they are hearing that the Obama divorce rumors are true. And Tara, who's a senior political correspondent for Puck, says, "I've certainly heard it for a while too, even before Michelle said she wasn't coming to the inauguration." I do not know whether this is true at all, but if it is true, it truly would be a political earthquake in Democrat circles. Never mind America. I don't remember a presidential divorce in modern history.
Guys, this would be crazy. Remember, like, again, too, because right now, there's a lot of stuff happening. A lot of the focus is on Trump, what Trump's doing. There would be a lot of focus on this. But again, it goes back to the point of the Democrats are in shambles. If Barack Obama and Michelle Obama divorce because he had an affair with Jennifer Aniston, friends, are you kidding me? Guys, this is nuts. Let me know your thoughts. I don't know what to think. That is just crazy. When it popped up, I was like, I got to show the fam. I got to hear what they have to say. Lisa Ann Hampton, welcome to the fam. Let's go. Y'all show Lisa some love in the chat. Guys, I want to say thank you to everybody that is watching. If you're not subscribed, y'all hit that subscribe button so I can take care of you every day with the top news. And thank you so much, everybody, for your support. Yesterday's video, I think, has close to 200,000 views on the channel. Guys, that's such a blessing. I'm so thankful for your support. I mean, we are here to serve you. I never know if I'm going to have like a pop-off video like that. I'm here every day, guys. 2 shows a day, Monday through Friday, 1 on Saturday, 1 on Sunday, here to serve you. If you don't mind, if you could click the thumbs up like button, it really does help out so much. And thank you to everybody that's given a super chat donation tonight, guys. Let me tell you this. We were able to give $1,500 to Tupelo Mansion, helping out children that don't have families. They sent me, they asked me to do, they're like, hey, thank you so much for this. We'd love to hear your story. Like, what is this? TrueLife News, all this stuff. And I'm like, hey, we're about to tell them who TrueLife News is, an amazing community that is working together to bring positive change in this world. I love it. Want to give some shout outs to Andy, Lay Lewis, Karen K, Ty Matt Chong, Mr. Tracy J. Norby, Trump Hooligan, who said it was the CIA, LOL. Guys, y'all showed them some love in the chat. And guys, we couldn't do this without you. I'm so excited about our merchandise that's coming up. I think you're going to love it. I feel good about it, guys. I'm like, I can't wait to put on that shirt and the other stuff we're going to sell. And remember, we're going to take a portion of that, donate it to charity as well. Guys, I just love this community so much. I'm here for you. I love the chat. Y'all are the best ever. And man, y'all are family, guys. Y'all are family. Love y'all. Appreciate you. And we'll see you in the next one. Take care.